everyone? Welcome to another episode of Dude Knits. It's your dude, James, coming to you from Green Bay, Wisconsin. How are y'all doing? Are y'all hanging in there? If you're anything like me and a lot of my friends, I know the last couple weeks have been a little rough with the weather and health issues and all that great stuff. So I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for watching and coming back. If you've come back, and if it's your first time to this channel, welcome. If you're looking for one of those podcasts that are like super organized and detailed step by step, let me know if you find those. I'd be happy to watch them. I'm more go with the flow. I do my version of organization by trying to do a little bit of editing, which I'll put on the screen and stuff. But mostly I just kind of like to talk to y'all for a little while, like to show you kind of what I'm working on, this whole pile of stuff. Give you a little bit of my thoughts. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of a break if that's what you're looking for in your week, or something to watch as you knit or crochet or craft along with whatever you're doing. That's why I like to watch a lot of podcasts. I like the community. I like to kind of have it on in the background as I'm doing other things. And so I hope this gives you a little bit of peace, a little bit of time to get some things done if that's what you're looking for. So yeah, welcome everyone. This is coffee that I'm drinking. I'm a little tired. My cousin has a lot going on this week. There's a lot of people out with COVID, and so she asked me if I could help take her kids to the bus stop. That's my cat, Artemis, that just meowed, because she knows as soon as I start to podcast that it's a really bad time to do that. So she does. And so today we have my little squirt gun water bottle thing that I use, and then she goes off and stops whatever she's doing. So that's what we do. For all of you that think it's cruel, you can have whatever opinion you want if I squirt my cat with water to get her to stop meowing while I'm videotaping a podcast. I don't know. If you disagree with that, I'm glad you have an opinion. But yeah, I'm just drinking some coffee. This is a mug that my supervisor got me, which is hilarious. It says, "I'm not addicted to knitting. I can stop after just one more row." Which is a good theme for how the past has been for me lately. I've been doing a lot of knitting. There's a lot of things that I want to show you all that I'm kind of working on. Some new things for this year, which is just exciting, and it's bringing back my not that I ever really lost my passion for knitting. My hands sometimes hurt, so I've started to do some stretches and exercises and trying to take care of myself. But I love knitting. I'm passionate about it. It's one of the things I love to learn. I love to learn about yarn in general. I love the products I can make with crochet. So the whole fiber arts just is something I really enjoy. I really like. And so if that's what you're looking for, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. If I'm not your cup of tea, that's okay. My opinion won't get hurt. And I mean that in the nicest way, but I'm also just a realist and I'm honest, and it's all good. So we're going to go through a couple different things, a little bit of admin to start. I'm running a couple different CALs, two actually. And so CALs, K-A-L, stands for knit along. The second one is probably more a craft along, which should be C-A-L. So the first one is my Dude Knits CAL. We are doing the Around Every Corner's shawl by Stephanie Lotvin, Telly Bean Knits. If y'all want to participate, I am extending that to the end of this month. So I'm extending it till the end of January. There's a couple people that had other things going on, and I know some people are still working on them. So I said when this first started that I would be flexible. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be flexible. And if you're not okay with that, again, I'm glad you have opinions. That's great. But that is what I'm going to be doing. If you want to participate, feel free. All you have to do is take a picture of your finished shawl, and then you can post it either on Instagram with the hashtag, I had to write this down, otherwise I would forget, the hashtag Dude Knits with an S, Cal, K-A-L. So just feel free to use that hashtag, or you can post in my Ravelry group. And my Ravelry group is called Dude Knits. It's all one word, and there is an S at the end of knit. So Dude Knits, one word. And then you could post on that thread in Ravelry. I will be drawing prizes for both. There is a couple prizes that I wanted to show folks, just to show I don't have, it organized which I'm drawing from when. That'll come in February. So feel free to participate if you would like. So the first one is in my lovely Ziploc bag. Hello. This is 2 skeins of yarn, and I forgot the name of what this is. One of the little yarn pouches that you put in a project bag. It's got little snap buttons on there. This is by, where's my camera thing? Knick Knack Knits Co. So this is Lisa and Nikki, and these are wonderful. I love these, and so these will be one of the things in the prize. And the other 2 things is 2 skeins of Malabrigo Machida. So look at this first one. Isn't this amazing? And then I thought that went really well with these colors. And then also, what doesn't go well with black? Come on now, y'all. So I'm excited about that. That'll be one of the prizes that I'm giving away as part of the knit along. So that's one of the prizes. And the other prize is this lovely bag. It's huge. It's ginormous. Again, this is by Knick Knack Knits Co. They donated this bag. And I love the drawstring. Look at that. It's a ruler. It is a ruler. And then it's stuffed full with just some yarn. This is a lot of Lion Brand. So if you like Lion Brand, this will be up your alley. If you don't, that's okay too. If you don't want it, that's just let me know and I'll draw another person. Somebody will be happy. But it looks wonderful. It's great. There's a lot of different, it's stuffed full of different Lion Brand yarn that I love. I just had a lot of Lion Brand, and I'm trying to do this thing where I enter my stash into Ravelry, and I don't have to enter this if I'm giving it away. So, yeah, that's another prize. There might be a couple other prizes. Some wonderful people had volunteered a while ago, so I'm going to reach out to them and see if they still want to do that. If they don't, that's okay too. No pressure. I really just did this as something that's fun. It's my first knit along. So yeah, that's one of the administrative things. The other thing that I'm helping plan and host for everybody is what's called now this is the official name. There's lots of people that have come up with other names, and if you want to call it something else, again, I don't get offended very easily. So call it something else if you want, but the official name is the Lucky Dip Stash Buster. So this is where you take 12 of, honestly, it can be anything. It can be 12 whips. It could be 12 projects. It could be 12, whatever you want to do. And then originally I said, you just would wrap those things up, number them 1 through 12, and then the first of each month I will roll a 12-sided dice, and that's the number that we will work with that month. And so this is in an effort to kind of use up some of your stash. I know people look at this a bunch of different ways. Some people wanted to do charity knitting. Some people wanted to get a head start on any gift knitting they wanted to do. Some people had wanted to use up their whips. Some people wanted an excuse to use those one skein wonders where you're just like, it's this beautiful skein. I don't know what to put with it. And I don't sometimes want to use it, but I do really want to use it. Whatever you want to do, feel free to participate. You don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to follow what I'm doing if you don't want to do it. It's just a fun thing that kind of brings the community together. So our number for this month is number 3. Number 3, my lord. Shrek reference. So yeah, so what I have for that has disappeared. I have lost it. I have no idea where it is. How do you lose something that was literally just here? Well, I will find it when I'm going through all of my whips. It's a little embarrassing. I will find it, somewhere in this pile. I am doing, I did all sock yarn. And so I really want to do more socks and kind of nail down my pattern. I'm a very loose knitter. And so it's been a little bit of a struggle. And I refuse to go down to double zeros because I always feel like I'm going to bend the needle because it's so thin. And so it's just not a good experience for me to go to double zeros. So I'm working with what I got. So mine was a Cascade yarn. It's blue. I will show you where I'm at. My goal is to do a pair of socks every month. And then I was going to enter those into the Got Whips podcast. And so that is Nikki and Heather have one of the cows they run is doing a pair of socks every month. And then if you do that consistently for an entire year, or is it an entire quarter? I don't know. Go check them out. They're wonderful. I love them. They're great people. And they have all the details there. But I wanted to do that. And so I've been neglecting it a little bit because I got caught up in some other knitting. And we'll talk about that. But I will definitely get the pair of socks done in January. That's going to be my focus for kind of the second half of the month. So yeah, that is the other knit along that I'm doing. There is, again, the Ravelry and the Instagram. The Instagram hashtag to use is LuckyDip2022. All one word. Put that hashtag in if you want to do it on Instagram. I don't know if I'm going to be drawing prizes every month or just occasionally or all that good stuff. And if you want to kind of show off your yarn that you unwrap or your project or whatever you're doing, or if you want to post in Ravelry in the FO thread, I will have an FO thread for each month for the Lucky Dip. That way, if other people want to use it, other podcasts or other folks, feel free. You know, I'm trying to do it for everyone. I know the Frivolous and Frugal podcast has made bundles on their Ravelry group for different projects. So one skein projects for a whole bunch of different styles of patterns, which I thought was super useful. So go check them out. Check out the bundles if y'all want to participate and you don't quite know what to do on any given month. Go search for inspiration there. That's what I might do when I get further along in my socks if I need a new sock pattern. So that is where we're at right now. Sorry, Artemis was making noise again, so there's the water bottle. She's glaring at me now, which I've earned, but she does this when I podcast. I love my cat. She's super sweet. We just, have an interesting relationship. So that's all the administrative stuff. I'm not necessarily planning on any future cals after the shawl is done. I really am going to take a little bit of a break on hosting stuff myself. The Lucky Dip is going all year. I want to participate in some other people's cals and some other things that are going on. So that's my plan. That's my goal. If you have other ideas of things you want to do, feel free to put them down. I might think about it, or I might encourage you to host one yourself, all that great stuff. So that's the administrative part. So now it's really, what am I knitting? I could say FOs and whips and hose and HO, which is a half object, or dream knitting, all that good stuff. But really, I just have this pile of stuff here today. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the pile of stuff. I love coffee. I love coffee. Well, I love creamer with a little bit of coffee. That's what I enjoy. So we're going to go through a bunch of different things. Let's see. One of the first things I have here, and this I'm not going to post, but you can always look up Fancy Boy Designs. This is the Marauders map. I'm not going to put it on the bottom of the screen. Fancy Boy Designs on Etsy. That is where I got this. I have some lovely colors. I am doing the Wayward Shawl by Cozy Up Knits. Look at these lovely colors. By doing, I mean I've started. And by started, I mean I've barely started. But I think I'm really going to enjoy this. I'm giving shawl knitting a little bit of a break. And we'll talk about that. But I have started. So this is where we're at. I really enjoy this yarn. Look, oh, that looks really good up there above my head. You can really see that right there, the feather and fans section. Um, this is my Wayward Shawl by Cozy Up Knits. I am a huge Supernatural fan. I used to watch that every Thursday night when I was in college with my college friends. And that was the inspiration that Sarah from Cozy Up Knits used. Every different section is labeled things like related to Supernatural. So I love it. I think the pattern is really great so far. I just need a little bit of a break from shawl knitting, and so when I pick that up, it'll be ready for me. And I'm feeling that I will pick this up relatively soon. We'll see. I've got a lot of monthly stuff going on, but I really like the yarn. The yarn I got from Hobby Lobby, actually, from their I can't remember what it's called. It's Hobby Lobby's yarn that they have in Hanks. I don't know if it's labeled hand dyed, but it's really good. It's very affordable. I have liked it so far, so you know, I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to pick that back up, the Wayward Shawl. And I just noticed as I'm looking down, here is, I have way too many things. Here is my lucky dip for January. This is Cascade yarn, Cascade Heritage. I don't remember the colorway. I think I started a Ravelry project, so you can always go check that out. And this is how far I am on my sock. I am working on the heel. The first sock, I plan to do 2. So I'm taking pretty meticulous notes as I go because I want to work on my gauge and kind of work on what is my recipe for socks. As I said, I'm a very loose knitter, so that is another project that I am working on. Let's see. So in here, this is just a art bin from Joann's. Excuse the zipper noise. This is my scrappy blanket. I have made a lot of progress since the last time I've showed this on the podcast. So, give you a close-up. Bring it out so you can see the whole thing. I am making some decent progress. I'm really enjoying this. I'm actually using up a lot of my worsted scraps. I have a few more that I need to add, but not many. We'll get a few more in there, but we'll see. But I enjoyed this for a while over break. Over my winter break, I took some vacation and did quite a bit of knitting. So that's something that I've been working on quite often. And the other thing that I've been working on and trying to catch up, honestly, a little bit, is my Celtic Quilt 4 Mystery Knit Along. I finished September. Let me see the right way to hold this. And I blocked September. It is quite large. It is 22 inches. Having blocked it, I am not worried about the size of my blanket. It'll be quite large. So that is one block, and you've already seen this. This is October's, but I did block it. So there is October's as well. And then I have been working on November's. Now I need to put on the border, but I have finished November's. And it does look a little curled because I haven't blocked it or finished it, but it is beautiful. So I have to do December and January. I was trying to catch up this month. I don't think I actually will be able to catch up this month. I think it'll be great if I finish December and November in January and get both the borders on. Then in February I'm not too worried if I'm 1 month behind. I was 3 months behind. So yeah, that's a Celtic Quilt 4. I can't wait. I'm on a big blanket kick. I only really have one yarn related blanket, and that's that one right there. I crocheted that, and so I did close-ups in my other podcast, so feel free to check out earlier episodes. It is beautiful. I love it, but I'm excited to have a couple more options. Couple more options. Continuing on the blanket kick. Oh, and I should say, I apologize. This is all made out of Encore, Plymouth Encore, from my local yarn shop. That's what all the yarn is made out of, and so is this. This is red. This is the building blocks blanket. I barely started. I was supposed to take an in-person class like the first or second weekend in January. Unfortunately, I did get COVID, and so I was feeling better by the time the class was there, but I didn't want to get anybody sick, you know. So I missed the first class, and so I do need to catch up by the end of January, which I will do. And I plan to do this more of a rainbow blanket, so do different colors. And then I'm thinking of stealing the border from the Celtic Quilt and modifying it to fit this square, and doing a light gray around each of the different colors of the rainbow. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But that is another blanket I'm working on. And then I am making another blanket for my nephew. So here is the corner to corner blanket. For those of you that have been here a little while, you'll see the colors look similar. These are my leftover colors from the last blanket I did. My sister requested more car seat blankets for in the car that she can just keep in there. So she a little bit smaller was perfect for her. I'll finish this and I'll put a border around it. I'm also doing this as part of Around the Table Yarns is doing a class for crocheting, and so they started with a corner to corner blanket. I've done several baby blankets corner to corner, so the technique was not new, but it's taught by one of my friends who is a master crocheter, and so I feel like the class is helping fill in some blanks because I just learned on YouTube, and so it's helpful to get some of that foundational knowledge. And there's been a lot of tips that I've heard already just in one class. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, you know, talking to other people. And so I think it's very helpful. And I challenged myself by putting stripes in a corner to corner blanket, which I've never done. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'll finish this, and then I think I'll put a border around it in the stripes as well. Maybe just single crochet each color in the border, or double crochet. That might be a little too big, but we'll see what I do. And then for the class, it's going to get progressively more involved as people learn, build up your skill base. Because eventually what they're going to try and do is teach you how to make a graphkin. And if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like an afghan that is made using a graph, like graphing paper, to figure out where you put the different color stitches, and you can do pretty intricate things. Feel free to take a look on Google and just Google graphkin, combination of graph and afghan. So yeah, this is another blanket that I'm working on. What else am I doing? I will show you the progress I've made on my Musselburgh. I have made some progress. Not any of that recently, but I think the last time you all saw it, it was further down. So here is my Musselburgh. It's starting to repeat the pattern a little bit, which I love. I think it's going to be great. I don't think it's going to be that warm, but maybe. I could be wrong. And this is made with, let me get the ball band. I believe Rainbow Reef is the colorway. Queensland Perth. 80% superwash wool, 20% nylon. Rainbow Reef is the colorway. So let me give you a close-up. Those are the colors. They're beautiful. They're so good. So that's my progress. It's pretty much my go-to for any time I know that I can't concentrate on knitting, just pull out the muscle board because you're just knitting, 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 knitting. It is a lot of knitting, but I save it for those moments. And then you've seen this before too. This is the So Crazy Crafter, and it says Espresso Petroleum, and it's a little coffee cup that kind of looks like Harry Potter. So I love that. I love that a lot. It has been really cold in Wisconsin the last couple weeks, getting into the negative degrees in Fahrenheit. It's been getting into the negatives. It's really cold. It's not as cold as some Canadian places, but wow, I was at work the other day and I had forgotten to bring any of my mittens, which I have several, but I had forgotten to bring some, and my hands were so cold. They were just frigid. And I remember thinking on that walk, this is dumb. I love to knit. I love yarn. Why don't I have a warmer pair of gloves? Because even if I would have had the gloves that I've made, none of them are that warm. And my local yarn shop, Silver Thimble in Green Bay, I don't know if this is for sure, but there was talk of them doing a class on making some Thrummed mittens. And they sound super warm. They sound really useful. And I decided I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait for next winter to make these. I'm going to learn how to make them myself. So the reason they're called Thrummed mittens is because you use what are called thrums when you make them. And so here is one that is done. I'll give you a close-up, try and get you some of the light. So all of these little dots, like there's one you can see really well. These are actually made using a thrum, and a thrum is made by taking some roving. This is typically wool roving, non-superwashed. You want it to be non-superwashed because you want it to be able to felt. And you roll it in between your fingers, and you create this little thrum. Mine might be a little small, but it's just this little size. And then as you're knitting, you actually work that into the mitten and you lock it into place. And what happens, and the cool thing about thrummed mittens, is that when you turn it inside out, you can see how fluffy it is on the inside. So if we just go like this, you can start to see all the wool, and I'll actually turn it inside out. So this is it on the inside. It has all of this wool, non-superwash. This is pure wool, and it's so warm. It feels so soft, and as you wear it, it'll actually felt down, and it'll be super warm. It's basically putting like a lining in your mitt. Now, I'm not super glad with this first mitt that I've made. It's the first time I've done it, so it's a whole new technique, a whole new way to make mittens, so I'm not being hard on myself, but usually when I learn something new, the first thing I keep for myself, and then once I know what I'm doing and they're a little bit better, then I'll make gifts for other people. And so the thumb is super small, and I think my stitch count for this is a little off too. It's really hard to tell because as you're making it, and I'll show you, I've started my second one, which you can already see is bigger than this one. As you're making it, it's fluffed up. Like that's all of the wool that's in there. You can see that. That's all the wool that's in there. And so it's hard to tell if it's going to be too big or not. And you don't know how it's going to felt down, especially your first pair. So I've been enjoying this. It is so warm. Like I literally stick my hand in here and I wait. Oh, it's already warm. That's all it took, is literally that 2-3 seconds. It's so warm. And for Wisconsin, for you folks in colder climates or that have loved ones in colder climates, this is amazing. It is so good. I am making this out of Lion Brand's Fisherman's Wool. I wanted more of a brown. I didn't want something that super stands out. A lot of people do it with just white roving, and you can really see it pretty well. I had gotten some roving from Little Knits. It's an online store. They're both Malabrigo Noob. So, oh, that's backwards for you all, but Nube. This is Malabrigo, and this is Wales Road, which I haven't started using yet. I'm gonna make these as gifts, and so I'm gonna use this with a lighter cream color mitt, not white, like an off-white. And then I'm using glitter, which is more browns and oranges and kind of a hint of yellow in there, um, in mine. And so it's gonna be amazing. One of these is 113 grams, and I'm gonna estimate just on what I've used to make my first pair with the other, which I'm not gonna bring out because it's all in pieces. And um, you could probably get, I'm gonna say 4 mitts at least out of all of this, um, depending on how big your thrums are and how big your mittens are and all that good stuff. But um, it's worth it, I think. Um, and yeah, it'll be great. And since the fisherman's wool from Lion Brand is also a non-superwash, so it's all going to felt together pretty nicely. I don't have an issue with wool. I do think it is a little scratchy. My fingers do get a little dried out from working with it, but it's going to be beautiful when I put it on. It's going to be great when I wear it, and because it has that roving as a lining, you don't even really feel the fisherman's wool. So highly recommend. And if you have some laying around that you're like, I don't know what to use because it doesn't feel great against my skin, once you put the roving on it, wow. And you could probably put thrums even in the ribbing if you really wanted to. They also make some thrummed slippers if your feet get really cold. So amazing. I love this. This will be done. Might not be done tonight because it's already getting pretty late. I wanted them done so I could wear them to work tomorrow, because it's cold. It's going to be cold this week. If they're not done today, then they'll definitely be done probably tomorrow. So can't wait to finish those. What else do I have here? Oh, in this bag, this is another bag from Knick Knack Knits Co. It's a Harry Potter bag. Is my Cozy Up Mystery Knit Along. I was excited to start this. I got the yarn from Around the Table Yarns and wonderful Kelborn Woolens, the perennial, which is amazing. You get a ton of yardage. It feels so soft and amazing to use. But I think what happened is I was a little ambitious for all I wanted to do with January, because I get excited thinking about cast-ons. But also I think I am not a huge shawl knitter. I've done it this past year. I like to learn the techniques, but I've always been like, I like the practicality of some knits. I like being able to use washcloths or wear socks, or that's what's attracted me to a lot. And I don't, not that I have a problem with shawls, I just don't typically wear them that often. I do wear them, but I was spending a lot of time on a lot of different shawls, and I have a lot of shawls I was going to do in January, and I was like, I wasn't feeling the passion, I wasn't feeling the excitement, and I realized I was putting all this pressure on myself, which I know a lot of us do. And so I thought, this is my time. I love this hobby. It's a hobby for me. What do I want to spend my time doing? And it wasn't this mystery knit along. I might do it someday. I'll know what it looks like by the time I think about doing it again. But those thrummed mitts and working on the blanket and the squares that I was doing, I liked those things. I liked just doing something besides a shawl. And so that's what I started doing. And also, I had this yarn for a long time in a box. I was going to do the Montrealer sweater, because this year I wanted to make a sweater. I think it was actually my goal for last year, and then I got distracted by shawls. I did my first Stephen West mystery knit along, like great stuff, but I never did the sweater. And so this year I'm like, I'm gonna do a sweater. And then quite a few of my friends are doing a sweater class called the 4 and 12 by I can't remember. It'll be on the bottom of the screen. I'll put it there. So they're doing that. It's a free sweater knitting class. And I've never knit sweaters. And so I decided that I would just sit in on one class. I'll just sit in. I'm still not going to do the sweater. I was sticking to my goals of trying to manage my knitting. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go sit in the class with my friends and and learn something. So when I finally do a sweater, I'll be ready. I'm just gonna sit in. So that lasted approximately 2 seconds after the class got done. I cast on that sweater. So that's the other thing that I've been doing with my time is I am making a sweater. So the class happens every 2 weeks. Here is my progress so far. The second class will be this week. I have split for sleeves. I'm not going to try it on for the podcast until it's done. I have tried this on several Zooms, but I'm going to wait till it's done to show it on the podcast. I am striping it. This is all in Cloudborne 100% superwash. And so it's a 10-row striping pattern that I'm doing, and it worked out perfectly because when I split for the sleeves, I actually had just started a row of brown. So when I pick up, it will be perfect. It'll align, hopefully, really well. But it does fit. It fits really well. I keep wearing it. A lot of people are like, you'd be further on your sweater if you'd stop wearing it. I'm getting all of my use out of it. I'm racing a couple people, not really seriously, but it's fun to say, this is where I'm at, this is where you're at. It gives you some motivation. I love it. It's so soft. I love the fabric that I'm making. I'm a loose knitter, so I probably already put up the pattern on the screen that we're doing. It is not a free pattern, but there are several good resources on YouTube that you can look up with the pattern name, all that good stuff. I hope that didn't stop the recording. I got a call. If it did, I apologize. So what was I saying? Oh, I like the pattern. It does call for the ribbing on the neck to be knit in a 5, a US 5, and the body to be knit in a US 7. I tried to get gauge, and I still don't have gauge, but I dropped down to do a US 2 for the ribbing and a US 4 for the body. I'm a loose knitter. It's just comical at this point. So that is what a lot of my time has been spent on. I've loved it, every second of it. I've really enjoyed. So that is the other thing that's been occupying my time. And then I do have several things to show. These were gifts from various people. So LMK Designs, that's Lisa, gave me this one-of-a-kind colorway called Aged Bronze. LMK Designs, it is beautiful. If I could figure out how this lighting thing worked, it'd be great. Aged Bronze, it's such a perfect name. I have no idea what I'm gonna make with it. It's gonna be beautiful though. It is 75/25 superwash merino and nylon, and it's amazing. Thank you, Lisa. So that was a gift. And then I also got from Nikki. So Nikki and Lisa both gave me all of these things. I have some Arkansas Yarn Co. and some Hearthside Fibers. So there is a Packer colorway, which is beautiful, amazing, and will be socks. Probably for me, because I don't want to share. And then some Arkansas Yarn Co. This is in their Worsted Yummy. So some Worsted Yummy, which does feel very yummy. So that's great. And I apologize for the crinkling. Dawn from Frivolous and Frugal also gave me some yarn. She heard that I wanted to do some buffalo plaid, and she had this amazing, this is Cascade Yarns Sport. And so look at those, aren't those Dawn's colors? Those are totally Dawn's colors. But I'm gonna make a buffalo plaid, probably a hat. I could do mitts, but it'll probably be a hat. One of my coworkers wants to redo her kitchen in buffalo plaid, and so I'm already making her some washcloths. I will probably make her a hat in buffalo plaid. So that is what I'm working on. That was my pile of stuff that I've gone through here. Um, I hope everybody's staying safe. They're staying good. Um, do what you need to do. And if you're putting any pressure on yourself with your resolutions this year or your goals or whatever it is, feel free to take this as a sign to refocus, to do what you need to do. You know yourself best. Um, you know, just be careful of the pressure you're putting on yourself. And it's okay to say, this isn't bringing me joy. What brings you joy? What do you want to be working on? It's a different story if it's your business or you have to be working on something, but what do you want to do if you have the choice? And it's okay to change your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. I do all the time, maybe too much, but it's good for me. It's good for what I'm working on. It keeps me passionate and I don't burn out. So take this as a sign if you're looking for one. I hope you all have a wonderful couple of weeks. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it, and I wish you all the best. I hope everybody is staying safe, and if you're like me in a cold climate, you're staying warm. Consider the Thrummed mittens. I mean, they're amazing. I don't get paid promo for anything, but I really enjoy those. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great week. Bye now.